I'm excited about our next segment because we are speaking with founder of To Die For, Jordan Ashley Newby, and she's going to be demonstrating what I think a lot of us tried for doing school in art and craft, but it just never worked right. And she's going to tell me some more. Morning, Jordan.
Good
Ashley.
morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Thank you for having me.
Walk me through, first of all, your passion for tie-dye.
Well, it started in school. I went to Wilmot's and, we had a... We had a clothing and textiles class,
Yeah.
but I always had this love for fashion and apparel wear, so I just said, I'm going to try and stand out.
Yes.
And I chose tie and dye to do it.
Yeah. How do you come up with the color combinations? Because sometimes I see them and I say, oh my gosh, how did they think of that? Like them just kind of just flow into each other, or?
Literally, I just put the elastics on the shirt, put the dye on wherever section I want to put it, and hope for the best.
And voila.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to do a demo this morning. What are some of the
sure.
things that I'll need if I want to do tie-dye?
Okay, so first of all, gloves and protective wear. So it'll be plastic gloves, plastic apron, and protective covering for whatever surface you're
going to be using.
Right. Hot water, cold water, and a white 100% cotton t-shirt.
100% cotton. Sorry, girl, let's go.
Okay, sure. So what I'm going to do is put some elastic bands all over.
All right, and the elastic bands will differentiate where the colors.
Right.
Okay.
It will create the creases and the white lines.
Okay.
So it creates that, effect that you probably want to get.
Okay, okay.
So some elastic bands here.
All right.
I'm going to do a crumble design. So I just squish up everything into one. Put some elastic bands over it, like so.
No, well, that I could have done. That's crush up everything into one.
Crush up
wow.
everything into one.
Yes.
And put some elastic bands to kind of secure the shape,
of it.
the design that you want, right?
Okay. Did you do a lot of trial and error? We're working and talking. A lot of trial and error?
I did. There's a lot of wasted white shirts, my dad's white shirts, my mom's white dresses. I don't know why I'm still living in the same house, but everything worked out in the end.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use yellow.
Yellow.
Put some dye in here.
Okay.
As you can see, when you put in the dye in, it splashes up. So, having that protective gear on.
You have to make sure. What kind of dye do you use?
I practiced with powder dye that you can get in York Pharmacy or any pharmacy across Jamaica.
Right.
But I find that the liquid dye works better for some, and the powder dye works better for
other
others.
types,
right.
depending on the texture of the
So I'm going
fabric.
to just dip this in the hot water with the yellow dye.
Okay. Now, I know you're not using gloves today, which tells me it's easy to wash off. It's like when you finish, you
It's
can.
not. But I have suffered many consequences. Wash my hands a lot of times. I use dish liquid
To get it off.
soap
to get it
just
off.
get it off.
All right, so
I'm
guys,
going to
if
let
you're
it
trying
soak
this
for a
at home,
little.
don't be Jordan.
Don't be like me.
Don't be Jordan. Make sure you put your gloves on.
And the water is very hot, so it's a
Yeah.
fingers are nimble.
Oh no. Next time get that stick and poke it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to let it soak for a little, probably add a little bit more yellow.
A little bit more yellow.
Right.
So so what do you do? I'm gonna race ahead of you.
Sure.
Do you dispose of the yellow water and then do a clean one with the green, or do you just add colors as you go along?
I use a squeeze bottle if I'm using a
variety
of colors.
Okay. But for now, yellow is the main.
Right. So
is
if
the
it's
base.
one color, you can always just use one bucket, one color. But if you're using several colors, you need different buckets
to
or
do it.
you have to dispose of the old water or the colored
And then
water,
get a new one.
add new water. But we're conserving.
Yeah.
And, water isn't cheap.
Water is life.
Water is life.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
I like that.
So I'm just gonna hot.
It's hot.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm gonna
it's
just
out of the hot water, you put it in cold.
Right. So just to get the excess dye out, you always want, what I do, I pull the elastic, so whatever excess water is within the creases, it will just fade right out.
Fade right out.
Right.
Okay.
Squeeze it out a little bit.
Ah.
So you see the yellow coming
Yellow
in?
is coming right. And so you can, depending on how deep you want the color to be, it could stay a little bit longer in the hot water.
Yes, yes. So you soak it a little bit longer, or you can add more dye. You can also add salt or sulfur acid to the dye water to just get the fibers in the fabric to kind of open up so the dye can catch into the shirt or whatever you're dyeing.
So we're at the cold water phase. And we squeeze it out.
See what it looks like.
And see what it looks like.
So I just pull on the
elastic. See, when they do this thing on smiling, it always look easy, you know, until you go home
until you go.
Right?
So I'm just gonna pull the elastic band.
So how do I care for my tie-dye shirts? Well, sometimes I buy them and I say, Lord, I don't want to wash them, and then this color fade out, leave this color.
Yes.
How do I care for them?
So the salt and the sulfur acid, as I mentioned before, because it opens the fibers, it's not supposed to wash out as easily, but if you soak it in excess water, for example, or you get caught in the rain, you find that the water or the dye runs out. But what I always suggest is that you hand wash it with cold water. So if you have a backyard space, you can always just rinse it out. So use your regular detergent, hang it outside on the line to dry.
To dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one says it's best to wash them with dark clothing too if you're using a washing machine.
Right.
Just in case it runs off.
Right.
Cool.
So I'm gonna see how this.
All right. So we're squeezing it out. Tell me a little bit about To Die For.
To Die, oh, that's my baby. It started in high school.
Yeah.
And I really just wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to come out of my shell, come out of my comfort zone, see what I was capable of, and start a business while going to university. It was kind of challenging, but it made me fear most of my fears. I'm really grateful that I started it. You know, I took that risk, I took that leap, and I'm getting there.
And here you are. All right. You see my shirt already taking shape. So do we for folks? So do we now say to you, listen, Jordan Lee, I want these colors on my shirt? Do you do custom made shirts, or do we go online and just see the variety that you have?
I do make custom t-shirts if you have bulk orders. So it could be you and your family. If you have like a family event, family reunion, you can always reach out. I have two separate pages. So one is A World to Die For, and the other is TDF Dye House that you can look for on Instagram. I have a website currently, but because I just started the dye house, I'm trying to incorporate that on the website. So it's currently,
as well.
you know, under
so they can look for you. So so we have the base, the yellow and the white, and you say you can use the squeeze bottle and add the other element. You want to do a little bit for me before we go and add something?
Well, I need more water.
More water? No, that's all right. We're good. And of course, you dye on anything. They're face masks.
Yes.
See, I want to pull some of these. So Marvin or Sheffield. So they can see that both the back and the front are done. Yeah, that's a pretty color. I'm going to put this one down.
This one is my personal favorite.
That's your personal favorite. Cool. What? I see why this is a little short one. This is the soca party. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Jordan Lee.
Thank you so much
for being with us this morning. To Die For. Check her out. You know what I say about Jamaican businesses? Always support them, and particularly young people. Yes. You know, when they have a vision, we have to lift them up. Great meeting you. Agekwada Gis.
Most important.
Most important. Small Jamaica continues after this. We'll be right back.